Welcome back, nerdy movie fans, to the part 2 Christmas haul video where I'm going to show you guys what exactly I got as far as the rest of my gifts are concerned, which is, for this video, entirely Funko Pops. So I'm going to start off with the non-Stranger Things Pops, since there are only a few of those, and majority of everything else in this video is Stranger Things. So if you are a Stranger Things fan, this is the video for you. If not, you're going to learn a lot about Stranger Things if you watch this video till the end. So, let's get started. So, we got from Marvel, we have Vision. He's one of my favorite characters, and this is a Hot Topic exclusive from Infinity War. It's pretty cool. He hasn't really been seen since 2021 as far as the shows are concerned. So, it'd be really cool to see him come back. But Marvel, I think, kind of forgot about him. So, regardless, it's cool to have this Funko Pop. And then from Star Wars, we have Hondo Ohnaka, which some fans may know from Clone Wars or Rebels or Disney Parks at the Millennium Falcon ride. But he originated in Clone Wars, so it's cool to have this pop, which is basically his origin. And we also have ARC Trooper Jesse, who's one of the coolest clone characters in the show. And this is, of course, the standard pop, but we also have the Chase variant for Jesse with the helmet on. So seeing the other one, I would have thought that the Unmasked would have been the Chase, but nevertheless, this is the Chase variant. This one is very, very cool. He's got a very distinguishable helmet, so I'm glad I have these pops. And now as we move on to the Stranger Things segment of the video, which is the rest of this video, let's just dive into it. So we have 11. We have maybe the most recognizable character from the show. This is from season 4. With the diorama, so it's pretty cool to have. Gotta have a pop of 11 being the main character for a majority of the series. And also, we have Joyce. So I'm still trying to memorize the boxes of these, which ones came from which season. So I believe this is season 2. And Joyce has been a consistent actress for the show, where her character usually just always delivers strong performances, strong acting scenes. So she's done a really good job. And then we also have Joyce from season 4. So it's pretty cool. It's got that pop protector. A lot of these do have it, so there might be a little bit of a glare. So this one's cool to have as well. And you can't have Joyce without Jonathan. So this is season 4, I believe, as well. So we got Jonathan. He is one of my favorites from season 1 and from season 2. And then just since then, he seems like his character has sort of taken a backseat as far as the runner-up for best performance in each season. So I'm excited to see this finale and see if maybe we can give him another really strong scene. He's already had one really strong scene this season. I'm hoping we can give him some more. So we have Jonathan. And then we have Mike Wheeler, who was one of my favorites in season 1. I thought he did a really good job in season 2. But since season 2, like Jonathan, he's sort of become less important to the overall plot. So it's really cool to have a pop from Mike because he is one of my favorites from this season. I think he just has some really neat stories, especially having these really good scenes with his family, like his mother. And with Holly, we have Holly right here. It's interesting, I was seeing a report of apparently Holly has more screen time than some of the main characters for the series this season, but I think it's deserving. I think the actress has done a great job. Her story is very interesting, and I'm excited to see how it all ends with the upcoming series finale. And then we also have Will Byers, who was one of my favorite characters in season 2. I thought his story was by far the most interesting in the second season, and his story has been nearly the most interesting in season 5 so far, given the obvious end of the volume 1. So it's really cool to have a Will Byers pop as well. And then we also have Lucas. Gotta have Lucas. This one is from volume 2, which is pretty cool because I believe this came out, the pops came out before volume 1 had aired, technically, I believe. So to have this from volume 2, I think it's pretty cool. I believe this was released back then. I could be wrong, but I think so. So nevertheless, it's cool to have this one from that, specific scene in volume 2. And then we got Lucas. You gotta have Robin as well. So these are all from season 5. And it's cool to have her character. She's sort of been that background character that's never really front and center, but her character has influenced very important storylines throughout the season she's been a part of. So it's been really cool. And And we also have Dustin, who I believe has been one of the top 3, and we'll get to that. I think he's in my top 3 of most consistent actors for the show, and not just actors, but character as well. I mean, Dustin's been a fan favorite since, well, really the beginning. So we got that look for season 4. We also have season 4. This one, I believe, yes. So we have the battle armor, where he's fighting in the Upside Down toward the finale of season 4. So this is a really cool one to have as well. And while we're talking about Dustin, you gotta have a Dart. This may be kind of hard to see. He's down there. See if I can get the camera to show him. Well, anyway, you can see on the box, Dart comes with this set. It's Hot Topic exclusive. And this one's really cool. I think Dart was just a fun character for that season, and it was very interesting relationship Dustin and Dart had as that storyline sort of came to a head in the finale. And speaking of Dart and Upside Down creatures, we have the Demobat. This one is cool. I like the design. I like the idea of the Demobat, but he nearly took out Steve, and he did take out another fan favorite. So, you know, the Demobat is a dangerous character, maybe even more dangerous than Demogorgon, just as far as bias is concerned for taking out one of my favorite characters. But this is nevertheless a really cool pop to have. So the Demobat is really cool. And then speaking of really cool characters, we got Argyle. Now, I know Argyle didn't have the biggest fan base during his season, but what fan base he did have, I was a part of it. I thought his character was hilarious. I loved the sort of friendship he had with Jonathan. I love how he just was innocent in what's going on. He's always talking about, you know, honoring that unnamed, soldier guy. His scenes were just great. I would argue the Surfer Boy pizza idea, he had to have Eleven in that tub of the salt, which helped Eleven save Max, which stops Vecta long enough for the characters to get the drop on him long enough to help the others get out of the Upside Down. I would say half the characters are alive because of Argyle. And if you don't agree, well, that's what happened in the episodes. He saved a lot of people's lives, so he's a hero. We also have Murray, who is another favorite. He's been consistent ever since he's been on the show. And his recent Volume 2 storyline, I believe this is him with the flamethrower as well. This one's really cool. So Murray, in Volume 2, he's got a really interesting story with characters that I never would have imagined he would have been paired with. But he is, and I think it's working. It's just working. And then we also have Hopper, who I believe is one of the other most consistent characters on the show. This is season 3, of course. And Hopper, he had a really cool story in 3. I've seen a lot of people suggest that season 3 is their least favorite. I just don't agree. I think there were a lot of enjoyable storylines in season 3. And then we have Hopper from season 4 with the flamethrower. This is definitely one of his better moments from season 4. His character, it felt like the scenes kind of dragged a lot for the middle of his storyline, but toward the end it really picked up, and we got some really cool moments for Hopper. Then we also have one of the best characters on the show. We have Steve. We got the best babysitter around. This is season 4, and you gotta have Steve. And if you're gonna have Steve, you gotta also have Scoops Ahoy Steve. This one comes in nice pop protector as well. So this one's cool to have because this is, I think, one of the most recognizable looks from Stranger Things, just as a show in general. And so now we move on to some of the cooler characters as well. I'm moving stuff forward so I can reach it better. We're stalling for time for this video right now. And now we're moving on. So we got from season 4, Chrissy. This is apparently the only pop they make, as far as I'm aware. It sucks because when I was watching her scenes with Eddie, I thought, these two are going to be my favorites in the show. Assuming that she had survived, but she did not. And so that was that. I thought it was just a shame because I thought she brought a lot of energy to her minimal screen time, especially with Eddie. And I thought it could have been a really, really neat storyline throughout the show. But not everyone gets a happy ending, especially in Stranger Things. Like this guy, Bob. He's also one of my favorites. I mean, Bob was just the nicest guy. He's someone you just want to just be around. I mean, Bob was great. in season 2, and it just really sucks when he went down because I wasn't ready for it. I want him to stick around longer. And we also have Alexei, who's done a little dirty. I mean, yeah, he started off as a villain, but he came around in the end wanting to help. And we got him here with that slushie. So, yeah, Alexei was a fun addition to Season 3. He brought this sort of, humor to his scenes that not a lot of actors could. So I thought his scenes were really enjoyable because of that. And then you also have one of the strongest acting performances on the show. We have Henry as one. This is him in that look from the pre-season 1 flashback / video scenes. So of course, in this form, he brought some of the strongest acting scenes to the show to date when he was in this outfit. So yeah, this is a really cool one to have. Especially as his character progressed to being vaporized, hence the vaporizing Funko Pop. And so this was really cool. It's an exclusive. It's a cool background. It's not just the pop. It's got that wall there too. So this is really cool. Of course, he ended up being vaporized, sent to the Upside Down, which is where he became Vecna. So this is a really cool pop to have. I like this idea of the yellow just shining amongst this pop. I think this could have been a really cool look for him in the show, but it just ended up not happening. We got a lot of I'm gonna move these walls here because it's taking up a lot of room. Okay, and now we're gonna move on to another one. We got this one right here, which is really cool. We got the Buyer's House. So this you have the right side up and the upside down, and it's gonna be tricky to point out to you guys, but on the couch and I think under the tree and in this room, there's like a hook for the stand on the Funko Pop. These Bitty Pops, if you take it out of the box, they stay hanging there on the upside down, so you can actually set up your scenes. Which I have a lot of the Bitty Pops, if you guys saw my last video. So I have a lot of Bitty Pops to set up using this as a diorama for all of those Pops I have. So this is a really neat set to have for those reasons. And then we also have this one, which is Will in the Upside Down. I'm not sure what else comes in this portion of the box, but on the back it shows that him just sitting there in Castle Buyers. This is just... him in Castle Buyers is one of, I think, the most recognizable scenes of the show. It's definitely one of the most chilling and the most haunting storylines it's had. Of course, him being missing during the duration of season 1. So that's a really cool pop to have. And then we also have Steve Harrington with his car. This is the car from season 5. So this is a newer look, newer Funko Pop. It's really cool to have because you can't go wrong with Steve. I can never have enough Steves. And this is just a really cool pop. I almost felt this would be better taking it out of the box just to see the car. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might open it, I might not. I don't know what to do with these. And then we also have, from Season 5, another Season 5, we have Rockin' Robin with the Squawk Radio Tower. This became sort of a recognizable thing for this season. In Walmart, you can hear, I think it's Maya Hawke's voice as Robin on the radio giving these messages. And it's not just Walmart's radio that's playing it. I think there are radio stations playing it as well, or at least leading up to Volume 2's release. So, yeah, this is really cool pop to have. I feel like this, like the car, would be cooler to open just to set up that tower, especially with those who saw the entirety of Volume 2 and know what's coming up with this tower for the final episode. So yeah, I'm excited to have this. And then we also have one of my favorites, my collection now. We got Argyle with the Pizza Man. This is just cool, right? Like I said, I don't think he had the largest fan base amongst Stranger Things characters, but I just think this is really cool. Argyle was great. He was funny. He was a team player. He's a hero. And I'm so glad I have this Funko Pop as well. We also have this one here. We have the Mind Flayer. Now, I know he was only in Season 2 and in kind of 3, but I think his appearance in Season 2 is the scariest upside-down creature just in the show in general, despite Vecna. Vecna is clearly the better actor because of what he's brought to his performance as Henry slash Vecna slash one slash Mr. What's It slash whatever other nickname he has. But the Mind Flayers, there's just something creepy about it. It gave me chills. I was haunted at night, and it was just the scarier design. So if the Mind Flayer comes back somehow, some way in the final episode in the series finale, I'll be ecstatic. I mean, I would be happy to see that, but I'm not holding my breath. I know it's pretty unlikely, but if it does happen, I think it would be pretty dang cool. And this is probably one of the coolest pops to have just because of its rarity. And this is going for 10 grand according to some sellers on eBay, which is absolutely ridiculous. So this is a really cool one to have. I did know about this moment before watching the show, but as much as I had this scene hyped up and seeing all these other videos before watching the show, I thought this was going to be like the final scene slash final shot of season 4. So when I watching the episodes and I saw this was not the end of season 4, that threw me for a loop, and I didn't know what to expect for the rest of the season. So with only a couple more pops left, we have one of my favorite characters. As I've already mentioned, we have Eddie. So we got Eddie with his guitar, and this is really cool. I mean, if he had survived to season 5, if he was in majority of season 5, one of the new main characters, he would easily be my number 1 favorite character over Steve and over Hopper and over Dustin. I mean, he very easily could have taken that favorite spot. And for so many Stranger Things fans, he does have that number 1 favorite character spot for a lot of people. So the only thing cooler than Eddie with the guitar is Eddie playing his guitar in the Upside Down. This is one of the scenes I knew about, and I thought it was going to be overhyped. I thought it wasn't going to be as cool by the time I got around to watching it, but when I did, it was probably the most badass moment in the show. So yeah, Eddie is for sure one of my favorites, and that is everything I got. So as this concludes the part 2 Christmas haul video series, thank you guys for watching, still sticking with me. Thanks for seeing everything I got. I'm excited to share this all with you because I love getting stuff, and I love Stranger Things stuff, and I love Funko Pops. So thanks for watching. Keep it digging, guys. Hope everyone had a great Christmas, and I hope you guys are going to have a great New Year's. Keep it digging. Until next time.